speaking portion of the evening. We are going to have Jenn Crawford lead off with her speech number 10 in the Competent Communicator Manual. Jenn told me that this was on her to-do list for goals for 2016. So she is getting it done, getting it in there right under the wire. Please welcome to the stage, to the podium, to give a speech entitled Pep Talk, Jenn Crawford.
A few weeks ago, during my sixth graders band concert, we were preparing for the night. The kids were backstage, parents were chatting, and our neighbor was sharing a conversation that he had with his son the night before. He said, "Dad, there's a lot of pressure on me. He's a clarinet player. We're kind of the grand finale of the show, and we've got to do really well." And his response to him was, "It's okay, son. Don't worry. We're not seeking perfection here. It'll be fine. It'll be okay." And we all were sort of chuckling. This is a group of sixth grade bands, so it's first year band students. Maybe most of the folks have only held their instruments for a couple of months here and there. And I must share that one of the biggest sources of belly laughs that I've had this past fall is actually listening to my own daughter practice the trombone. And fortunately, we have a strong enough relationship where I don't think her self-esteem is really suffered from my laughing at her. However, the concert itself blew all of us away. It was amazing. It was so well orchestrated. There were pieces, times when everybody was playing together, and each student there, each instrument had a chance to really shine. There were a couple of duets, there were a couple of times when 3 or 4 folks would play, but it was a true orchestra, and just one person alone would have probably caused a lot of laughing. But together it was very impressive, and we all left quite uplifted. But that message, we're not seeking perfection here, is one that I'd like to carry with you. But not only that, bravery is something that I saw and continue and repeatedly see in kids in the schools where they're going. And we're all here at Toastmasters, so I think that alone is a brave deed for all of us to do. And fortunately, I keep coming here because I find in the environment here one that is equally supportive as the classroom is for my daughter. And I'd like for more people to come and know this support so that we can all shine a little bit more. So time travel back 22 years with me, I invite you to. Monterey, California. I'm in graduate school, an international school. It was around the time that a person unexpected in South Africa became president of the country, one who had been incarcerated but was then president. And he shared a quote that many people attribute to him, Nelson Mandela, but in fact it's from somebody else. Perhaps one of you may already be able to tell me who shared this. No one? Mandela. And he borrowed it from another person. He said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing, and I don't know whether Mandela said all of this in his speech, but this all came from the words of another person. But I believe that they're all of our words, actually. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us. It is in all of us. It is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I love every part of that. It's long. I made copies of it. So you can find it online, blow it up, and put it on your wall or your refrigerator. You can pass those down, please. I'm not saying that we should all run for president, but we shouldn't be afraid to dream, to show up, to believe in possibilities, to take risks, and to be ourselves. And in Toastmasters, this environment provides a type of environment that can be safe, fun, lighthearted, and sometimes even serious learning environment. In my words, it's not that each of us, but every human is a gift and is powerful beyond belief. What might get in the way of us reaching our fullest potential? Maybe it's our conditioning. Maybe it's who are we to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, or fabulous? Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. But who among you agrees or disagrees with that? Some of you might feel that being too loud or brilliant or bright might offend others or not show respect or humility for others. For me, I find that it's easier to celebrate glory in my kids more than in myself. They're a constant source of inspiration to me. Anecdote number 2. 6 months ago or more, I thought that my final speech would be stealing, word for word, that same daughter's speech when she was still in 5th grade. She, for a speech class, a persuasive speech class, wrote more than I could ever internalize and got an award for convincing her students and teachers why carbon tax is a good idea, explaining the science behind it. She had so many great statements in there that I feel I can't do justice for. And I know that this is an okay place to brag about kids because I know many of you value family and share as much obnoxious pride in your own relatives. But I do need to share some of her statements because she still impresses me and inspires me. She could come up with humor that, such as climate change is leaving homeless polar bears with nowhere to go, and how a carbon tax makes economic sense. And she did research enough to say that some of you might think it's a wrecking ball of the economy, but she says, in fact, if you don't like to lose money, and she explained how climate changes would force us to seek clean air sources. She addressed naysayers and explained why climate change is who said don't believe that climate change is a threat, or why it's bad, or why it has to be our problem. And she pleaded about how we need to stop this tyranny of allowing climate change to happen. And she says that it's a genius idea because it takes into account what matters to most to people, their money. She found reliable internet sources to show that really only each family would pay about $9.90 more each week and have a lot, and this could actually curb climate change only if our country participates, the U.S. That in fact we can create more jobs by doing this, and she cited Australia, who in 2 years has increased employment by 24,800 people. And she says, does that look like the wrecking ball? I don't think so. So going back to that quote about not being small, if we're acting in our highest potential and capacity, I believe that we can actually be fueled by those who support the idea that there may be a light inside of each of us. And I realize that some of you may or may not really ascribe to that belief, and that's fine. There's a place for that too. But I'll share one other piece because this bigger source, I think, is it can be a big inspiration. One other person shared that there is a supreme truth of being, an eternal life, independent of all circumstances of birth, country, environment, education, that is the origin, cause, and master of our spiritual development. That which gives a permanent direction to our lives. And this was an aspiration in the wedding vows with my husband that it was inspired from yoga philosophy. That as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. So we're not seeking perfection, but yet we are each perfect in our own way, in our full current form, with our flaws. You are each a bright. You each have a unique song that's worth sharing, and your voice can be shared here and critiqued here and become stronger, sharper, more refined, even more godlike, and that it can adapt to whatever situation that comes up. We can each grow to be more humble, more content, and more ourselves just by showing up, and your willingness to show up here and tap into your own bright light will encourage other people to do the same. So I encourage you to enjoy the remainder of your holidays and for good and unexpected blessings to come forth in 2017. But what's your motivation for 2017? They're all evaluable. Shine your light now and into 2017, and then share your light so that others will want to come and join Toastmasters too. Yeah.